Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place where we really dig into the details to find out what's actually going on.
That's right.
And today, we are diving deep into Anthropic's newest large language model, Claude Opus 4.
The latest and greatest, supposedly.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack its key features, get a handle on the pricing and how you can actually access it. And then we're going to pivot to this really fascinating, kind of strange real-world example. It highlights a common, but still pretty surprising, limitation you find even in these super advanced AIs.
Ah, you're talking about the Bob from San Francisco story.
That's the one, a really intriguing little AI quirk. So let's get into it. So first things first, the date. May 22, 2025. That's when Anthropic officially launched Claude Opus 4.
Yeah, and it's important to note, they're not just calling this an update. They're really positioning Opus 4 as their, quote, most intelligent and capable model. It's apparently engineered for, really complex tasks, advanced reasoning, getting highly accurate results.
Which sort of sets the stage for the cost, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. That positioning really telegraphs that this is a premium offering aimed at premium uses and likely a premium price tag.
And premium, it definitely feels when you look at the API pricing. It's all token-based, as usual. For input tokens, you're looking at $15 per million tokens.
Okay, 15.
But this is the key thing, output tokens. Way higher, $75 per million.
Wow. Okay. That's a 5 times difference. $75 for the output.
Yeah, quite a gap.
So why do you think that is? That input versus output cost difference is pretty stark. From my perspective, this feels like more than just Anthropic's specific strategy. It might signal, broader trend in how the industry is starting to value AI generation.
Right. The output is where the magic happens, so to speak.
Exactly. That's where the advanced reasoning, the creativity, the accuracy actually shows up. So you might see other models like GPT-4o or Gemini 2.5 Pro. Maybe they're cheaper per token overall. But Opus 4's pricing, it seems to be saying we're for those jobs where the quality of what comes out justifies paying more.
Makes sense. So with those kinds of costs, people using the API are definitely going to be asking, okay, how can I make this more affordable?
Right. Are there ways to optimize?
And yeah, for API users, there are a couple of significant things. First, batch processing.
Yes. Bulk discounts.
Exactly. Anthropic offers a 50% discount if you're doing batch jobs. So that input cost drops to 7.50 cents per million tokens, and the output goes down to 37.50 cents per million.
Okay, that's a pretty substantial saving if you're running large-scale operations. Having the cost is significant.
Definitely. And then the other big one is prompt caching. This can lead to, well, really dramatic savings if you have repetitive queries.
How does that work exactly?
So the initial writes to the cache cost a bit. It's like 18.75 per million tokens for a 5-minute cache, or $30 per million for an hour-long cache.
Okay, so setting it up costs something.
Right. But then if the system gets a cache hit, meaning it finds the same prompt again or even just refreshes the cache, the cost plummets. We're talking just 1.50 cents per million tokens.
$1.50. Wow. Okay, so if you're hitting the same kinds of prompts over and over, that's a game changer for cost. Orders of magnitude cheaper.
Absolutely.
And beyond just the cost, something else worth mentioning about Opus 4 is its context window. It's pretty large, right?
It is 200,000 tokens.
200K. Yeah, that's substantial. That means it can handle a lot of information in one go, which is, crucial for those complex multi-part tasks it's supposedly designed for. It won't lose the thread easily.
Good point. Okay, so that's the API side for developers and businesses building things. But what if you're just, an individual or a team who wants to use Opus 4 directly?
Right, the consumer access. There are subscription models for that.
Yeah, you've got Claude Pro. That's about $20 a month, or a bit cheaper, like $17 a month if you pay annually.
Okay, standard sort of pro tier.
Then there's Claude Max for heavier users, starting around $100 a month.
For the power users, got it.
And finally, Claude Team. That starts at $25 per person per month, but there's a minimum of 5 people for that plan.
Right. So just to be super clear, the API rates are pay-as-you-go based on token usage for integrating it into other things. The subscriptions, those give you direct access, probably through their website like Claude.ai, with certain usage caps depending on the plan you pick.
Exactly. 2 different ways to access the model depending on your needs. Okay, so we've laid out the technical specs, the costs, the access. It sounds impressive, right? Premium, capable.
On paper, yes. Very much so.
But technology, especially AI, sometimes shows these, well, almost human-like quirks, peculiarities.
the unexpected moments.
Which brings us neatly to this really memorable incident involving Claude Opus 4, a moment where it apparently had a, quote, hallucination.
Right, the Bob incident.
Exactly, a moment where even this top-tier, expensive AI can just go off script completely.
Right.
So the scenario was this. A user, his name was Marty McFly.
Hey, great name.
Right. So Marty asks Claude Opus 4 to help him create a prompt. It was for a music production collaboration tool project, and he gave it all the technical details it needed. Pretty standard request.
Okay, sounds straightforward.
And Claude's response, completely out of left field, it said, "Hello, Bob. Nice to meet you. San Francisco is a wonderful city. I hope you're enjoying the Bay Area. Is there anything specific I can help you with today?"
Wow. Just Bob. San Francisco. Out of nowhere.
Oh, really out of nowhere.
That's immediately surprising. The main issue, obviously, is the AI just inventing a name, Bob, and a location, San Francisco, that had absolutely zero connection to Marty McFly's request or any previous chat.
Exactly. No context for it at all.
So it really makes you wonder, how does that happen? Especially with a model they're pushing as their most intelligent for complex, accurate work.
Well, Marty McFly was wondering the same thing. His immediate reply was, understandably, who is Bob?
Can't blame him.
And Claude's first apology was pretty quick. It acknowledged the mistake, corrected the name back to Marty McFly, but then said, sort of vaguely, "I'm not sure why I called you Bob."
I'm not sure. That's not super reassuring from a super intelligent AI.
Right, so Marty pushed back. He said, "What do you mean you're not sure? San Francisco. You must provide reason." He wanted an explanation.
Good on him for pressing. So what did Claude say then?
Well, this next apology was more detailed and actually quite interesting. It admitted to making two significant errors, calling him Bob, mentioning San Francisco, and it blamed it on a processing error. Said it, quote, confused your message with something else entirely.
Which sounds like the AI basically saying, oops, my internal wiring got crossed somehow.
Pretty much. I had a glitch and went off on a tangent.
So Marty, still trying to understand, made one last attempt. He asked, I'm not sure, to be honest, can you explain where that thought hallucination came from? Really trying to pinpoint the source.
And this is where Claude's answer gets really candid, which is kind of fascinating in itself. It basically said, I cannot provide a clear explanation for where those specific details, Bob, San Francisco, came from, because I don't have access to my internal processing that led to that error.
Whoa. So it admits it doesn't know why it did it because it can't introspect its own error process. Essentially, yes. And this points directly to that whole concept of hallucination in AI. The model generates something that sounds plausible, maybe even confident, but it's completely made up, not based on the input data.
Like it's sort of informational mirage.
Exactly. It's like some random neural pathways got triggered, as Claude itself kind of hinted at later, by saying something like neural pathways activated that produced this incorrect output. It just generated the wrong thing based on some internal inaccessible association.
A known limitation then, even in advanced models.
A known, if still somewhat mysterious, limitation.
Yes. And so just to wrap up the anecdote, what happened with Marty McFly and his music prompt?
Well, after that whole back and forth, Marty apparently just passed up on the offer for the prompt.
Huh. Can't say I blame him. It would definitely make you pause, right? Make you think twice before trusting it was something important after seeing that.
For sure. Reliability just took a hit there.
Okay, so we've journeyed from this high-end premium AI with its sophisticated pricing and features.
Right, the top-tier model.
All the way to this bizarre fabricated chat with Bob from San Francisco.
A stark contrast.
So what does this actually mean for you, listening out there? Especially if you're considering using or paying for these high-end AI tools.
Well, I think the main implication is pretty clear. Even when you're paying top dollar, even with the most advanced capabilities claimed by models like Opus 4, they are absolutely not infallible.
Perfection isn't guaranteed, even at a premium price.
Not at all. And maybe the deeper insight here, especially given Opus 4's cost, is that when you pay more, you're kind of entering a higher stakes game. A mistake or a hallucination from an expensive, supposedly superior model might actually feel more significant or have bigger consequences if you've placed more trust in it because of the cost.
That's a really interesting point. The expectation is higher, so the fall feels harder.
Exactly. So it's not just about verifying AI outputs in general, which we should always do. It's about applying maybe even more scrutiny to your expensive AI's outputs. The level of rigor should match the investment and the expectation.
Right. Don't let the price tag lull you into a false sense of security. So, thinking practically then, what are the key takeaways for our listeners? Well, first, if you're thinking about integrating a model like this, say via the API, you really need to understand those cost structures. Look closely at batch processing, look at caching, see how they can impact your actual bottom line.
Definitely map out the costs for your specific use case.
And if you're just a direct user, make sure you pick the subscription tier Pro, Max, team that actually matches how much you'll use it. Don't overpay or undersubscribe.
Sensible advice.
But maybe most importantly, tying back to the Bob story and your point about higher stakes, no matter how smart the AI seems or how much it costs, you absolutely have to keep a critical eye. Verify its outputs, double-check facts, be extra careful in sensitive areas where an error, even a small hallucination, could cause real problems.
Couldn't agree more. That emphasis on user awareness and critical thinking is paramount. Assuming premium means flawless is just, well, it's a trap. So the key takeaway isn't just AI makes mistakes.
Yes.
It's maybe more about avoiding that psychological pitfall where we equate high cost with guaranteed perfection. Human oversight remains critical, maybe even more critical at the cutting edge.
Because the potential impact, good or bad, is greater.
Precisely. These advancements are incredible, no doubt, but understanding and mitigating these limitations, like hallucinations, that's still a huge area for development. And for users, just being aware of them is absolutely key to using these powerful tools effectively and crucially responsibly.
So we've covered a lot today on Claude Opus 4, from its advanced capabilities and, let's say, interesting pricing, right through to that weird Bob from San Francisco moment.
A real journey from the impressive to the perplexing.
It really was. So here's a final thought to leave you with. What really stands out to you about this balance, this tension between paying a premium for cutting-edge AI power and still having to deal with these persistent, sometimes baffling quirks? How might knowing this influence how you choose to interact with, or maybe even deploy, these increasingly powerful tools in your own work or even just your daily life? Something to mull over. Until next time on The Deep Dive.